So today is a full moon in Sagittarius, and I'm sitting outside doing what I know to do. Of course, as I begin this live, there's somebody that starts weed eating. So that means there's a lot of energy moving through this field right now. But I was called as I'm sitting out here in my sacred practice with my blue light, with my blue bottle. It's blue light therapy for my water. For anybody that's ever studied uh, Veda, Veda Austin and her work, and talking about the power of programming your water. As I'm sitting outside today with the sun in Gemini, let me show you the sun in Gemini today where I'm at. Hello, there's the sun poking through the clouds, or rather, I should say the chemtrails, because they were spraying all day yesterday on the first sunny day here in Kentucky. And that's okay because I transmuted that anyway. I'm trying not to be triggered by what I see out in the collective. I know I have the power. This what this full moon is illuminating is we have the power to transmute and transform anything through our attention, our focus, and our belief, our knowing that we have the power for these things. And the stone that I have right next to the water, this is called an Andara stone. So it's actually a piece of glass that's got silica. And when you read the spiritual properties for the Andara stones, they're multidimensional. They help you clear all your chakras. They help you transmit and transmute information into clarity from distortion or confusion, which right now with all this Gemini energy, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of distortion in the field. So doing what you know to do during full and new moons, it's part of the memory because the moon is our memory system. So it's helping you remember what you already know to do. Your own innate divine wisdom is coming through with Sagittarius. It's converting knowledge. So I learned about the knowledge of the blue bottle, right? And the ability to program your water, especially if you put it out in the sun for an hour. Again, if you study Dr. Emoto's work or Veda Austin's work with crystallography, you understand the importance of blue bottle therapy in the water and what it creates. So I'm leaving this out here for about an hour, along with the Andaris crystal right here, which is multidimensionality. And it's really setting the intention, this again, Sagittarius full moon, to allow me to receive multidimensional messages in a coherent and balanced way, because there's so much information coming through the field of Gemini right now. And of course, it was all quiet before I began this video, and now there's just traffic going by and weed eating. So that just means there's a lot of energy in the collective field that's being, transmuted through this particular channel. So the mind can be very scattered. There can be a lot that's happening within the mind right now. So if you can go out and put your bare feet on the earth, which I'm doing right here, which is also part of the practice, part of the ritual, because Mars is still in Taurus and it's getting ready to ingress into Gemini. We also have the mind Mercury getting ready to ingress into Cancer, which means Cancer is a water sign and Mercury's the thoughts. So you can program your water to hold the cymatical form of the thought form that you want to bring in, because we do have the original technology that most of this reality mimics after us is already something we organically do. So it's remembering our own inner organic energy and our technology, and we can activate it and we can defrag any synthetic technology within our cells, within our memories, within our consciousness, by being very focused, right? Because that Sagittarius is the archer. It has an arrow pointing to exactly what you want to focus to. So what do you want to focus to? Look at all this green right here. Look at all this healing energy. Going out in nature is very healing. The color green is very healing. The electromagnetic frequency of green is what the eyes can pick up on very clearly. And so there's a lot of healing, incoherent thoughts, distortions, electromagnetic frequencies that are programmed to distort our immune systems, our endocrine systems. And so just remembering the power of water, which is a form of plasma, and how this energy field works is so powerful, and how we can create the reality timeline we want. We can program the technology for benevolent service, right? For benevolent collaboration. But Gemini, we were taught that, we weren't powerful, that we had to look for a source outside of ourselves. But when you go out in nature, she reminds you so clearly that you are the technology, that Earth is the technology, grounding is the technology, being out with the trees, just show you some of the energies. This is tree talking, right? They're transmitting their own frequencies. So being able to still the mind, just get out here in nature, even if the mind feels scattered and there's so many thoughts coming in and out, just to be able to hold the breath. Again, do your ritual, whatever it means. And ritual is simply like, you brush your teeth every morning. It's a ritual, right? So the ritual is during these pivotal time periods, especially during the full and new moons, which happen every 2 weeks, right? There's a full moon, and then in 2 weeks, there's a new moon. So it alternates like an alternating current of memory, because that's what the moon signifies astrologically, is we're remembering that we know how to do this. It's already in our cells, just like our breath, just like our heartbeat. We don't have to tell our hearts to beat. It just does it automatically. We don't have to tell our breath to breathe. We just do it automatically, right? So what else automatically can we do that we are doing naturally, organically, if we just learn to settle the mind, to harness the breath, to be in nature, to be intentional with your water, with your crystals, with your frequency, to bring in the reality that you really want to see, not just for yourself, but the highest and best for all of humanity, right? Because that's also what Jupiter, who rules Sagittarius, wants. It's a unifying expansion field of divine intelligence. And it's helping us remember that divine intelligence is already running through your cells and your bodies. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to, just be with it. And being with it is what helps alchemize and transform and transmute this whole thing. So anyway, I hope this helps you to remember to go out and to be with yourself, be in nature, program your water, be with the crystals. Again, anybody that's looking at this particular crystal, it looks like citrine, but it's actually an Andaris crystal. I do have citrine right here next to me that I have programmed on the side of me. I actually have crystals on either side of me, you guys can see. And I've got one towards the back of me, which is smoky quartz, because I'm sitting in a particular grid that I've created. Again, the power of intention. What you put your focus on will be. So focus on your creations, and the creations that will benefit all of humanity. And wow, we can really see this timeline that we're on completely alchemize and be for the highest and best for everyone. Abundance and love and joy and balance and harmony and wholeness, returning to wholeness. I no longer invoke in peace, because peace is still fractaling out. Look at the language. Sometimes the spell casting can be pretty tricky, right? We always ask for peace, but this is like a piece of a puzzle, right? A piece of crystal. When really, my highest guidance is asking for wholeness. So just something a little bit, just fine tune the language, if you so choose, and just to be mindful of everything we're speaking about Gemini season, because what you speak into existence will matter. Literally, it will form into matter. So, okay, fam, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for participating in this, and just how I'm sharing this space, and hopefully you can connect in your own magical way with the earth, with your intention, and with your focus, because it really truly matters. Okay, fam, see you on the next transmission. So much love. Bye.